Hey there, and welcome back to Valley por Vida. Now, as mentioned, we've got a unique segment to share with you about the National Bobblehead Hall of Fame and Museum recently adding the first Ketanji Brown Jackson bobblehead to their collection of 16 additional justices. Now, their team is also releasing a first series of publicly available Supreme Court bobbleheads, and that project includes every single current justice, as well as many former ones. And this is just a unique way to honor history while still preserving the fun of it all. So we went ahead and caught up with the co-founder and CEO of the company to learn more about what they've recently released, as well as how we can look forward to, what we can look forward to rather, in the future collections.
Hi everyone, my name is Phil Sklar. I'm the co-founder and CEO of the National Bobblehead Hall of Fame and Museum in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Today we're going to talk a little bit more about the museum. Yeah, so we're always coming up with ideas for new bobbleheads in addition to having the museum in Milwaukee. We produce and sell bobbleheads, and we released first bobblehead of Supreme Court Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson. And we're excited to have that bobblehead coming out pretty soon here. They're actually just arriving and going out to people, and it's our third Supreme Court Justice bobblehead and features Justice Brown Jackson on the Supreme Court base with the steps and the building in the background. And then at the same time, we also unveiled bobbleheads of the other current justices as well as several previous justices. So it's the largest Supreme Court Justice bobblehead series available for the public right now. Yeah, so, we did a bobblehead of Ruth Bader Ginsburg. She was the first Supreme Court Justice that we produced, and it continues to be very popular. And when Ketanji Brown Jackson made history as the first Black woman on the bench, we thought that bobblehead would be a great way to honor her and be a tribute for people who, look up to her as a role model. And, also with the Supreme Court being a very influential body and more people paying attention to it, thought it was a good time to have the Supreme Court bobbleheads out there and have a bobblehead of just the newest justice. Yeah, so bobbleheads in general have been used and continue to be used as educational tools, and this bobblehead of Ketanji Brown Jackson and the other Supreme Court justices really are meant to be sort of educational tools, and people who are collectors of bobbleheads, or people who might just have one, or are starting a collection, or have a bobblehead for a friend or family member. This is a great way to to spark that discussion, and for people to say, hey, here's the Supreme Court justices, here's why they're important, here's how their decisions affect people's lives, and now people have the option to have those bobbleheads. Yeah, so bobbleheads are great collector's items. People really enjoy them, but being fun is sort of the name of the game when it comes to bobbleheads, whether it's one that you purchase or one that you get maybe at a baseball game or another event.
Feel free to check out bobbleheads of all the justices, plus many more figures, and of course create a custom one for yourself if that's what you want, for a friend or a loved one. And since bobbleheads are indeed so unique and fun, we thought it'd be great to break down some interesting facts behind their history and popularity. So according to Decades.com, there was actually one pair that was sold for $36,000. That amount can often be the price of a state school college, and bobbleheads have been around for a long time. In fact, in the early 1800s, according to the site, one pair of bobbleheads that represented a husband and wife actually sold for almost that amount of money. It was sold for $35,000. And in the 1920s, sports bobbleheads came into the game and started gaining popularity as well. The site says that a lot of them are now, of course, are modeled after some of the best pro athletes and Major League Baseball figures, or some of the more coveted ones. In fact, the site even outlines that some collectors will pay the most for figures that are representative of the New York Knicks. And the music scene, of course, is a really popular one, even in the bobblehead world. So it makes sense that a lot of those which are designed after inspiration drawn from some of their favorite musicians and singers sell for big money too. The site says that the Beatles specifically made a big name for themselves in the pop culture world, and that the original 1964 set of the Beatles bobbleheads actually ended up selling for about $800 online. It outlines that this one was in fact the very first set of bobbleheads that was created out of a specific human image that wasn't an athlete, which is pretty interesting. And the Giants are one of those teams that has the sports fans excited when it comes to bobbleheads too. The site says that even though there's been over 300 promotions for these fun products, almost a full third of them have been created in the image of the San Francisco Giants. And it outlines that many think the team's 1999 giveaway of Willie Mays bobbleheads specifically really helped to give way to the popularity of these. And of course, now there are some of TV show characters and so many influential world leaders too, as mentioned in the segment. And since bobbleheads are a big deal, they're very just naturally a lot of big bobbleheads, big ones. The site reports that there's actually one standing over 15 feet tall, and that was put up by an insurance company back in 2016 in an effort to attract attention to their business. Since their mascot was a St. Bernard dog, the bobblehead represented this, and it even made it to the Guinness Book of World Records. Prior to that, though, the tallest one ever recorded was only about 11 feet tall, which is still big, and it was one that represented game show host Chuck Woolery, which is still pretty cool. And did you know that bobbleheads have even been used in romantic gestures throughout history? The site says that in 2012, the Bachelorette contestant Chris Bukowski gifted 2 bobbleheads in a romantic effort to win his woman's heart, and they resembled both of them. So if you watched that season, then you know he unfortunately didn't end up getting the girl, but still very cool to use all kinds of bobbleheads for love. All right, well, that's all our time for now, but we'll see you next time on Valley Por Vida.